now that we have discussed the media pool, now let's skip the cut page and go to the edit page, because that's where the real thing happens. So we go to edit page, and this is how the layout is of the edit page. What are we going to do? Let's go through the edit page quickly, because it doesn't really make sense to explain all the tools now. It's more handy for you to get to know them as we are editing the video, so you know exactly what is the use of that, rather than me going 2 times. So here is the layout, and on the left hand side we have the media pool, then we have effects. So this is what the media pool is open, whatever things we imported in the DaVinci Resolve from the media pool, that's here. Then we have the effects. So media pool still remains, and then the effects come here. So we have different kind of video effects, audio effects, a lot of effects, titles, animations, a lot of things are here in the effect panel. Index you don't really need, sound library you don't need, keyframing we need, I'm going to be explaining you later. So let's turn off the effect, let's go to media. Keyframing is on. So whatever panel which is activated, that would have white. If it's not activated, it becomes gray. So if I deactivate the effect, it becomes gray, of course. So here are all the videos that we imported, and here are our power bins. If you cannot see power bins here, what you need to do, go just normal click on these 3 dots, then here go show power bins. So then you have the power bins. Let's just check any of the videos. So let's just check this video. So if I just double click on this video, then you have a playback.
Oh, it's windy now.
And then we have a playback of this video. And if I just drag and drop this video on the timeline, so then we have a playback of whatever is on the timeline. So say for example, if I want to watch this video, just to know when to, cut and paste on the timeline. So this is the playback of everything which is playing from the media pool. And this is the playback of everything which is on the timeline. So if you want this layout, you can choose it, but I usually do just single layout. So if you want a single layout, just do like this, because later on we're going to be adding some more stuff. So I don't want this whole place to be cramped. What I also do is that I kind of close this whole panel. So I make it in half. So if you do that, then you make everything in half. And I keep the power bins like this, like so. So master, we have everything from DaVinci Resolve, everything what we have imported, we have power bins, and then I have like a whole broad view of the timeline, because timeline it's looking like this now, but when we add so many clips, so many different layers, then it gets a bit messy, trust me. So that was this side of the section. And then if we go on the right side, then you have quick export. So quick export is a really convenient way to directly export from the edit page rather than going to the export page. You're not going to use it. If you want to use it, you can do it. Mixer. Mixer is Mixer here shows the audio level.
For every corner of this island, we are going to
So you see the audio levels, and I can really see that the audio is really muted or like really low. But if I increase it,
we are going to have the real Tesla experience.
Then you can see that the audio levels have increased. So yeah, this just like here you can monitor the audio levels. Sometimes the audio is super peaking, then you can also see that here. So that was the mixer, where you can just check the audio. Metadata. Metadata is if I just click on this clip, then it kind of gives me the information about everything about the clip. So this is in H.264 format. This is shot in 23:976 frame rate per second, which is almost 24. That's the exact frame rate of our project. This is in 4K resolution, and this is the audio channels. And then here there are more information about the video clip. So that's when you can know what are the frame rates in which your video is shot at. So whatever, all my video clips, whatever is here, they're all shot in 23:976 frame rates per second. And also you might be wondering that all the video clips that I have, it's a bit desaturated. Don't worry, we're gonna be color grading them, because I film all my video clips in Sony log format. So they are all a bit desaturated, but some of the clips that we have here, video extra, like these clips, they are in a normal color because I downloaded them from a stock video. But yeah, all the Sony ones, it's in flat picture profile, but we're gonna be taking care of that, don't worry. So yeah, that is metadata, and then inspector, that is really important. So here you can also, click this arrow and make everything a little bit bigger. I don't do that because I really want a wide view of my timeline. And in the inspector, there are a lot of settings that you can change for audio and video that we're going to be discussing later. So we discussed here, we discussed this panel. Then here we have the timeline. The timeline is like, it kind of gives you the box. So each clip is like this little box. So the blue box here is the video, the green box is the audio. Like each box, if I just drag and drop, they come down on the timeline, and all these videos, they pile up after each other, you see? So if I just export it now, all the videos would be exported right after each other. What you can also do, for example, if I just bring this up, then the second video layer opens up. If I bring this one up, then the third video layer opens up, and you can just drag up and down. I will just increase, you can always just increase and reduce the size of all different panels. I would just go this up, I would drag it a little bit down so that everything, I can see everything. I can also reduce the size of this panel. And one more thing really important, what I want to show you. So here you can see different video, 1, 2, 3, yeah. One more thing really important, you go here, that is something about timeline. And here what you need to do, if you go to thumbnail view, I have chosen film strip. So if I choose film strip and if I kind of zoom in here, then I can see all the little video shots in the strip, so I know what kind of video it is. But if you had the thumbnail view, then you would just have one clip in the front, one clip in the back. You see, one clip, one clip. So then it's a bit difficult to see what's inside the clip. So I just keep it to film strip. And one more thing, display, you should do display non-rectified waveform. So that kind of, you shouldn't do that. You should do what was the initial setting, but that kind of changes the waveform of the audio. I just tick everything. So then I can see the most details in the waveform. So if I increase this like this, and if I zoom in the timeline, you can zoom in and out like this, then you can see the waveform of each audio. And it is really handy to see the waveform of each audio really clearly, because then you can really cut the videos before when someone is talking, or you can cut the videos when nobody is talking. So just by looking at the waveform, you get to know a lot of information about the audios especially. So yeah, audio as well, you can have different layers of the audio. And what happens is that if I bring this clip on top of here, then you don't really see this clip, because now the second clip, the 5760, that is overlapping this clip. So whatever you put on the top, the audience would see that. Does that make sense? And you can also just bring it here in the middle, bring it like this. So you can also like kind of just drag and drop on the clip, and then it kind of goes in between the clip. But whatever is on the top, our audience would see that. And if I just export everything now, then he would see first this clip, this clip, this clip, this clip. And the audio would also overlap, but audio would go together, because audio would just mess up everything. So the audios would be all mixed together. So really don't do that. But yeah, when we're going to be editing everything actually, then it would make more sense. So this is a little bit of introduction about the timeline. If I go here, then I have, you can change the height of the videos and audio track. You can also do like that. But yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of things here. You can check display audio waveform, because that is really important. You can also check display subtitles track. We're going to be talking about that later. Display stack timeline. We're going to be talking about this later. And here are some of the tools that we would be using in the timeline. So yeah, as we would go through the timeline, then I would be using more tools, and I think it's more handy to tell about them later. So now that we have discussed everything, now let's try to actually, cut and paste and, put the clips together. So if we have to delete everything, what we can do Command A or Control A, and then you can do backspace. So backspace would just delete everything. But for me, I'm using various shortcut. So for me, that's X, but you can just do backspace and you have a clear timeline. What do you need to do? I also see this voiceover. I would just bring the voiceover to music so that everything is organized. So let's go here and I would choose a music, because now what we're gonna be doing is we are actually making a sequence. Let's choose this music. So I would just drag this music clip here. So now what happens is the music clip is an audio one, but I don't want the music clip to be on audio one. I want the music clip to be on audio 3. And why? It would make sense later. And then we go to the voiceover, because what kind of movie we're gonna make is that there is a background music and then there's a voiceover, and then here we have the actual videos. So I just zoom in with this, and I'm actually using a shortcut to zoom in, which is S, but it wouldn't work for you because you're not really using the shortcut preset what I have. I would be discussing that in the next section, but let's just zoom in and zoom out like this. What you can also do, if you want the extreme zoom, you can go like this. So that would give you the extreme view of this area. If you want everything to be in one place, then click this. Anyways, I would just zoom in like this, and then I want this voiceover to start here. So let's listen to it. So if you want, you can also edit with me. Let's start again. There's an island just off the coast of the Netherlands. So here, I'm sure you can know what the problem is. The audio from the music is a bit too loud and the voiceover is a bit too low. So what we can do, if we just put the audio track in the middle, you can also zoom in increase the length or the height of these tracks by pressing Shift and scroll up. So then you increase the width of the audio tracks. So here I want to increase the sound of the audio. So as soon as you sort of hover around the audio clip box, then you can see that my cursor changes. So it was arrow and now it goes to like this. So I would increase the audio a little bit. So you can already see that the volume is increasing because I can see the decibels. It is 3.75 now, so it has increased a little bit. So I would increase it to until here, and then we here again. So yeah, video editing is all about making some changes, revisiting, rewatching, and re-listening. There's an island just... I think that the video is still like the background noise is still super loud. So what we're gonna be doing now is I would go here and I want the background noise or the noise of this music to be a little bit less here. So what we're gonna be doing is, if we reduce the sound here, then the sound for the entire music track is reduced. I would just press Command Z or Control Z. If I hover here, I just zoom in. If I hover here, then I can go Option or Alt, and I just click here. So then I see this red dot. I need to do another one, Option, Alt, dot. So then there are 2 dots. So what I can do now, I can just drag this dot down. So if you have an entire view of this music track, you can see, you can see that the volume of track was here 0 decibels. I'm not moving anything, I'm just clicking on the line, and here it's minus 12.19, so the volume reduced. There's an island just off the coast of the Netherlands. So you see now the voiceover sounds better. There's an island just off the coast of the Netherlands. A place shaped by wind. So that sounds really good. What are we gonna do? We're gonna now put some video clips. So first shot, what I want is here. So we have the video extra, then we have this really beautiful video clip of ocean waves. So what you can do, if I just double click, then the ocean wave is playing here. So now my timeline is not playing. I double click, then now you can see that the source is ocean wave. But if I go here and click here on the timeline, then the source is timeline 1. Yeah, does that make sense? So I just go double click here so I can see that the source is here. And I want to know, you can either play it like this, or you can just drag the cursor like this. So that would show you the entire clip. So what I want is, I want this clip to be from here in the timeline. So here, if I want to select this point, I can press I, and I can go until O. So that's in and out point we are selecting. And now what you can do, you can just drag and drop this file on the timeline, on the video one. And now let's watch the video. There's an island. So just when I start talking, I want another clip. There's an island. So here, I want another clip. So what I want to do, if I just go here, that zooms in, I want this clip to be cut after this point. So what you can do, you can go here, select the blade, and you can also see that blade edit mode is, in my system it's C, because I have this custom shortcut, but your system it would be something else. So you can just press whatever button it is showing now. I would just press C, and later on I would give you my shortcuts as well, which is really, really handy, and it would just save you hours while editing. But let's focus on super basics now. So just for the sake of this class, you can see that I have this arrow first. I will just click on the blade, and now I have blade. Here is arrow, but if I go on the clips or the audio clips, I have this blade now. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna make a cut here. And if I just move my timeline, you can see that there's a little bit of cut in between the blade, in between this clip and this clip. So now we're gonna be pressing this arrow again. So now the blade is gone. And now we're gonna be clicking on this clip, and you can press backspace. And now this clip is gone. There's an island just... So here when I say there's an island, I need another clip from the Sony video. So you see now the clips are a little bit small. I cannot really see it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna click off this, the bin list, and that would go away. And then I can increase the size of these videos. So then I know, then I can see the thumbnails a little bit better. So I maybe need this clip from here. So what I'm gonna do, I just double click so I know the source, and I have the in points. I would go with the in point, then I play, and then I need the out point here. So in the drone shot, in the ocean shot, only the video file came because this clip had no audio, okay? But if I go here, click master, go to Sony, we had our clip here. So you can also see here in the thumbnail that we chose an in and out point here. That's exactly what we have here. So if I just drag and drop this, then the entire video and audio comes together. So you can see that this was video clip and this is the audio. But if you just want to import the video or the audio, there is a way. So I go Command Z or Control Z. If I go click, and if I go on this clip now, I have two options here. The first one is the video. If I just want to drag and drop video, which can happen sometimes, you just drag and drop the video. If I click here again, if I just want to drag and drop the audio, you can just drag and drop the audio. But here we need both video and audio, so I would just drag it and drop them together. And now I have the clip here. So let's play it again and let's see how that looks. There's an island just off the coast. I also want to hear the audio from this clip because that gives a bit more vibe of the sea. There's an island just off the coast of the Netherlands. I think it's too loud, so I would reduce it. There's an island just off the coast of the Netherlands. So this audio is nice, but what I also think is happening is the audio is too abrupt. And I want the audio to start a little bit before the video plays. Now you can see that if I just drag it like this, the entire audio and the video, they go together. But I want them to start here, but I want the audio to start a bit before. And now if I click on this clip, both the clips are selected. Why is that? Because both of these clips are linked together. So you see, if I just move it like this, both of them are linked together. So what we need to do is to disable the link. To disable the link, what you need to do, you go click here. And now if I disable the link, then I can just, you know, drag and drop, drag the video and the audio. And you see that if I just drag the video like this, then it shows that here there is a difference of 1 second and 21 millisecond. That's really handy because sometimes if you're editing and if the audio and the video clip, if they move, then DaVinci already shows that they're not in sync. So I would just bring it here and I would maybe start the audio from here so that the audio comes before and video comes later. And what I can also do is that I can smoothen out the inserting of the audio. And how do you do that? If I go here in the corner, you can just do it like this. So then the audio is not going to come abruptly. So let's play it again. There's an island just off the coast of the Netherlands. So just when I say of the Netherlands, then I can cut it. So we go blade tool, do it like this, then you go here, then cut it out with backspace or X. So that's how you can cut and trim the clips. But I think it's a little bit tedious process. So that's when I would be introducing shortcuts. So we're going to be editing the entire sequence, but I think it's nice to edit them with the shortcuts. So in the next section, we're going to be talking about shortcuts and editing this sequence again, I think 10 times faster. So let's go.